welcome in everybody. As you can see, we've had our little rebranding done. Good to see you all today. Hope you're having a great week. It's Sunday. It's a beautiful day. If you're watching here live on Twitch, please stop in every Sunday, 2 p.m. Join the conversation. We'd love to have you. And if not, well, welcome anyway. So we're here to talk about Notre Dame football, playing Pitt this coming weekend. And I tell you what, it's going to be, I think it should be a good football game for the Irish. There's one concern that maybe we all have as Irish fans. They're the team that beat Louisville. They haven't really played well otherwise. They put up a lot of yards on offense, but they don't put up a lot of points. And, I mean, maybe that's an execution thing on their part. They put up a lot of yards and they put up a lot of points against Louisville. And of course, we couldn't, as the Fighting Irish, figure out how not to run inside the tackles against Louisville when they had 9 guys in the box. It was a little silly. We've had a week to rest. We had a long bye week. We can say bye-bye to the bye week. Yeah, that was a boy band joke. And, and be excited about a good football game to come up. 2 football games left, 2 home games left. We've got Pitt this coming weekend, and then we've got Wake Forest the following weekend, followed by a bye week, Clemson, and then we're on to Stanford in Palo Alto, California. So it's it'll be a good couple weeks. And so what are we gonna do, right? Or rather, I should say, what is Pitt gonna do? Because I think we've got a fairly good idea at this point about what the Fighting Irish are going to do. So what is Pitt going to do? How are we going to try to stop them? And then once we establish a good running game, which is of course always the key. Once we establish a good running game, how many points do we ultimately score? And what do we think Pitt's going to score? Do I know? I think I know. Actually, I think I've got a pretty good idea. So here's my take, right? Pitt throws the ball a lot, and they also just don't complete a lot of passes, right? They've struggled in their passing game to really make key passes and key plays when they need to. In yesterday's game against Wake Forest, they punted 7 times. They only got within field goal range once, where they didn't score a touchdown. And so 2 touchdowns, 1 field goal. That's 3 scores against a team that Wake Forest is not known for their strong defense. And Pitt's played some teams this year who are known for having stronger defenses. Louisville, should have had or does have a stronger defense, but for whatever reason, Louisville couldn't figure it out. 414 all-purpose yards yesterday. Sibo Flamister, who we know as Notre Dame fans, he played for us for 4 years before transferring as a graduate student to Pitt, and and of course we wish him well. Just not this coming Saturday. We want to keep him under 100 yards. So if we do that, continue to play in the secondary the way that we have been, continue to pressure their new quarterback, who, by the way, we all know who started the season for Pitt, right? So Phil Jerkovich, who had originally committed to Notre Dame and was with us for a year, ultimately transferred to Boston College, started at Boston College for a couple years, transferred again, ended up at Pitt, and ended up getting benched after the second game after Cincinnati. Let's see. Must have been benched at Cincinnati. No, benched after Cincinnati. Okay, so who are we seeing? Who is playing? A guy by the name of Chris Velio. I don't know. I can't pronounce the last name. Christian Velio. He's thrown for a lot of yards. He hits his receivers. He throws for a lot of yards. He's averaging 6 or 7 yards a pass. But for whatever reason, 300 yards yesterday against Wake Forest, they cannot seem to get into scoring distance. They put together a few good first downs, or they gouge for some big yards, and then they just don't make it to it's not 3 and out, but it's like 7 and out or 8 and out or 10 and out, right? And it's 10 plays, or and for whatever reason they're still not in the red zone. So if Notre Dame follows that strategy, the strategy of pin them deep, win momentum, right? Don't lose momentum doing silly stuff like going forward on 4th and 1 and missing, right? We don't need to go forward on 4th and 1 at any point in time. We just don't. You either get points or you punt. And when I say you get points or you punt, our field goal kicker eliminates the need to go for it on 4th and 1 on the 38 or 41 or 42 yard lines, right? He's from 42 yards with an 8-yard snap. It's a 60-yard field goal. He's got to add the end zone. He's got that much leg. So you don't need to go for it. Can you? Yeah, that's probably not a terrible place to go for it, but why give him the ball on the 40 if you miss? Or on the 45 if you miss, right? Like, because if you miss, it's you either got 0 yards or you got negative yards. That's anyway. What do the Irish need to do? We know what they need to do on defense. They know what they need to do on defense. They need to do on defense what they've done all year and what they've done really well all year, which is continue to pressure the quarterback, continue to keep tight coverage. Defensive coordinator's done a great job of making sure that we're blending man and zone coverage well, that we're showing cover 1, cover 2, even cover 3 here and there. Don't run silly things like a prevent defense at the end of the game if it's close. It shouldn't be, because honestly, this is another team that we ought to simply dominate. Now, we said that about Louisville. We should have absolutely dominated Louisville. And Pitt did. Pitt beat Louisville, right? So if there's any reason to be concerned, it's the fact that this is the team that beat one of the two teams that beat us. And the only team that actually beat us in any kind of impressive manner. Was it a fluke? Did it have to do with us playing 4 primetime games in a row? A pair of road trips back to back? Maybe. But honestly, like, we're coming off a bye week. We shouldn't have any of those problems here. So I would expect Audric Estime to run the ball very well again. I would expect Jeremiah Love to run the ball very well again. Again, we've got to kind of blend it up, right? We got to get the ball out to the perimeters, but we've also got to run the ball up the middle. And so let's establish the run game. The run game opens everything else up as long as it's done effectively, and that's the key. The reason that we failed against Louisville, the reason that we struggled against Duke, is because we didn't establish the run game effectively. Hopefully everyone's healthy. I'd like to see it. I think everybody should be healthy coming back from a 2-week break. Coach was out on the recruiting trail last Friday, which was a wonderful thing. He's out in Akron, Ohio, working on recruiting some new players to the team, and has been relatively successful. Our 2025 class and 2024 classes are already looking really good. So, all right, score prediction. I think we can get back into the 40-point games. So I'm going to say Irish 41, Pitt 17. I think we've got a better defense than Wake Forest does, but if we start playing second string defense, it's not going to matter. We'll start to see some changes, due to the fact that we don't have all of our best players on the football team. All right, that's it. I love y'all. God bless. Keep looking up. I'll see you back after the game next Sunday. Go Irish.